Have you ever published a video to YouTube or another social media and it just did nothing? You spent all this time on the strategy, the script, the storyboard. Being on site was a lot of fun, but it was also a lot of work. Then there was the editing, revisions, more revisions. Then you had to add motion graphics and create a thumbnail, create a title, create a description. What hashtags am I going to use? And then you finally promote it and it just doesn't get a lot of views or spark a lot of engagement. Womp womp. Trust me, I totally know the feeling. But I'm here to tell you it's not that because your video was bad. In fact, it was probably good. You're one smart cookie. I know that you can do good work. It most likely has to deal with the environment that it was in. To give you an example, I don't know if you have any houseplants, but I bought a few during the pandemic and I killed all of them. Now I am much better. Actually, my girlfriend takes care of them, so now they're thriving. But never once in that process did I blame the plants. All the blame belonged on the environment. Not enough sun, likely overwatering it. I didn't know that you could do that. And so many other factors, right? It's not the plant's fault. And just like your video, it was not the video's fault. So to understand why your video didn't perform well, we first have to take a deeper look at these social media platforms that we're publishing on. If we can understand what they want, if they want out of a brand or a content creator, then we can help satisfy that and build our strategy around that. So in this video, we're going to cover what do social media platforms want, how to use that to our advantage and stay on their good side, how to build authority and a following on social media, and how to get the most out of your video content. So first, we'll start with the basics. What do social media platforms want? Not from creators and brands, just in general. What do they want? They want more users, spending more time on their app, and coming back more often, right? Most of them make money on advertising, so the more users they have and the more time you spend on their app, they're going to make more money, and so that's what they're looking for. So we're going to call those three things acquisition, engagement, and retention. Acquisition is how many users that the platform has. More users equal more eyeballs, equals more engagement, equals more revenue. Now the next one is engagement, how long you spend on the app. Now this is where a lot of their resources have gone to in either building their app and where they continue to invest to make their app more sticky. This is their algorithm, right? It's how they serve content, who they serve it to, and when they serve it to you. So the more users they have on the platform, the more data that they're collecting, and the better they know about matching that content with certain audience types. And the last one is probably the most critical, which is retention. How often are you coming back to that app? Now that is going to play a huge role in when we unpack these next concepts. Acquiring users is very tough, but keeping users around and entertained can be equally as tough. Look at Threads, right? Have any of us gone back to that app? I think I posted once and deleted it. This is where apps and social media platforms are doing their best to keep you coming back for more, to keep wanting more, however they accomplish it. So with all that being said, what's the relationship between platforms and brands and content creators? Social media platforms and content creators have a symbiotic relationship, right? They both mutually benefit from each other, and one cannot thrive without the other as well. But here's the catch. Platforms are super cautious about who they decide to promote and how wide they want to spread your content. This is an area where they're especially low risk in choosing how they decide to distribute your content, because if their entire relationship with the user exists on what content they serve, they need to be. And when we talked about retention, right, wanting users to come back for more, this is where they're likely not going to want to promote a one-hit wonder type of content creator. So with all that being said, can you see how we're connecting the dots where if you just put all your energy into one video, publish it, and promote it, these platforms don't really have a lot of incentive to distribute it. Because if they do, and then a user comes to your page or your account, and there's no other content for them to get attached to, then that was essentially a waste of the user's time. Platforms are more likely to recommend pages or accounts with a large bank of content behind them. Not only will this keep users engaged as they're visiting their profile, but it also signals to that app that they are trustworthy. And by trustworthy, I mean that they are consistent. They're consistent with putting out content on a regular basis. And that's why the platform should recommend them, because they will always have fresh content for their new audience members. Think of it like a sitcom. A platform wants you to show up every day and publish your video at 4 o'clock regularly. And the more you do that, the more they know that they can count on you to continue doing that. And that's when they're going to start serving your content to a wider audience, because they know that they can count on you to consistently keep them engaged. And thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Just kidding, we got a lot more to cover. Next is building authority and trust. Now here goes a quote that Google has tried to bury. It's from a former Google executive who, when interviewed about what it takes to be an authority on a certain topic, he responded with, "It's hard to call a brand authoritative after just 30 articles." So if your blog has less than 30 posts, or your pages or accounts have less than 30 videos, it's going to be super hard to convince Google and YouTube, who's owned by Google, that you're an authority on a certain topic. So now this goes back to consistently publishing content. And what you want to do is create topic clusters or content pillars. You want to create about 3 to 5 topics that your brand is super knowledgeable about, and then create smaller bite-sized pieces of content that all revolve around those topics. Now that probably deserves its own video, and if you want to see something like that, comment SEO strategy below and we'll do a video for you. So the key takeaway here is that you need to consistently be publishing content around certain topics to build an authority, and by consistently showing up, you're showing the social media platforms and those users that you're reliable, consistent, and a trustworthy source on that topic. Wrapping up is just the power of video content. Users are so much more likely to stay on a certain landing page or a blog if there's a video attached to it. Not only that, but the video can provide as great promotion, and either a slimmed down version of it with just the quick hits, or a repurposed version of it that's a long form piece. Odds are your audience likes to consume content in different formats, so why not cater to that and create content in different formats? And whether you're planning for your next video shoot or you're budgeting for next year, we're advising all of our clients to reduce the budget on their average video, but increase the amount of videos that they're creating. So say you have $10, $20, or $50,000 in your video budget. Don't think about how you can create one grand slam video. Think about how you can create 5, 10, 15, 20 little singles. And I guarantee you're going to see a much better ROI on that by consistently creating content over time and spreading out that investment. And it also mitigates your risk. Why would you want to put all your eggs into one video when you could spread that out over an entire series? Not only that, but users may be at different parts of the funnel, so now you have a little bit of content for each phase. And that's all we've got for this video, but I do have one favor to ask. If you either learned something new or just found this video valuable, please forward it along to a friend or a colleague of yours. It's going to help the channel grow and help us create more valuable content like this in the future. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel so that way you don't miss any of our future videos. And with that, I'll see you on the next one.